Students, and once again a warm welcome to the digital classroom of Science and Technology Part B. Dear students, finally we had finished with the explanation of lesson number 5 towards green energy. So today we are going to start with the textual exercise, and I am fully assured that you all are ready with the answers because all the answers are given in the textbook. So let's start with the textual exercise. Relation between entries in three columns. There are three columns and the answers are to be written with relation to the first column. So the first one is coal, and it is thermal energy in the second column and thermal plant in the third column. Second is uranium, it is nuclear energy in nuclear power plant. Third is water reservoir, it is potential energy in hydroelectric plant. Fourth is wind, it is kinetic energy and wind electricity plant. Second question is, which fuel is used in thermal power plant? What are the problems associated with this type of power generation? This answer is given in your textbook on page number 50. So open page number 50. Now first part of the question is, which fuel is used? So it is coal. Coal is the fuel used in thermal power plant, and then we have to write the problems associated with this type of power generation. It is directly given on page number 50. The problems heading is given at the top of the lesson. Right, the first one is air pollution due to burning of coal. Second is, along with the emission of gases due to burning of coal, soot particles are also released. And third is, reserves of fuel in this method are limited. So you will write all these 3 points in detail. Next question is, other than thermal power plant, which power plants use thermal energy for power generation, and in what different ways is the thermal energy obtained? So it is natural gas power plant and nuclear power plants where the thermal energy for power generation is used. And the second part of the question is, in what different ways is the thermal energy obtained? So on page number 50 and 52, the different ways are given in which the thermal energy is obtained. So in nuclear power plant, the energy is released out by fission of the nuclei of atoms like uranium or plutonium, and this energy is used to generate the steam of high temperature and high pressure. This steam rotates the turbine, and kinetic energy in the steam, it drives the turbine, and turbine in turn derives the generator. Okay, and in the natural gas, the combustion of natural gas produces gas which is used to run the turbine. This gas is under high pressure and high temperature, and this is also used to produce the thermal energy. So this you will write in your own words. Then third question is, question number 4 is, which type of power generation involve maximum number of steps of energy conversion, and in which power generation is the number minimum? So the maximum number of types of power generation involved is in thermal power generation, and the minimum types of energy conversion is in wind energy generation. So maximum transform of energy is in thermal power generation and minimum is in wind energy generation. Then next is given a crossword which you have to write the answers. The first one is, maximum energy generation in India is done by using dash energy. It is A, that is thermal. Second is, Dash energy is a renewable source of energy. It is B, WIND. Third is solar energy can be called dash energy. It is C, clean, CLEAN. Fourth is dash energy of wind is used in windmills, that is kinetic, D, KINETIC. And the fifth one is dash energy of water in dams is used for generation of electricity. It is E, potential. Okay, very clearly I had shown you. You have to draw this in your notebook. Then next question is explain the difference between conventional and non-conventional sources of energy. I had given you the points. While writing the points, you will write in complete sentence. Conventional sources of energy, largely polluting, it releases lot of carbon, whereas non-conventional, they are non-polluting, no carbon is released. Conventional are not eco-friendly, non-conventional are eco-friendly. Third, fuels produced are costlier in conventional sources of energy, whereas here the energy obtained are cheaper. Next is power plants require less and management cost is also less. Here in non-conventional, power plants require more area and management cost is more. Conventional are non-renewable, non-conventional are renewable. They are limited reserves, conventional sources, whereas non-conventional are in abundance, persistence and sustainable. Example, fossil fuels, coal and crude oil in conventional sources, and solar energy and wind energy in non-conventional sources of energy. Next is thermal electricity generation and solar thermal electricity generation. Thermal is burning coal and produces heat. In solar thermal electricity generation, solar radiation are used. In thermal electricity, to produce heat, coal is burnt in boilers, and in solar thermal, to produce heat, reflectors are used which reflect radiations of sun into absorbent. Third, combustion of coal produces heat. This steam is under high temperature and pressure. By its force, turbines move. Turbines in turn are connected to generator which rotates and produces energy. Whereas in solar thermal plant, sun's heat convert the water into steam that rotates the turbine. The turbines then rotate the generators, which in turn generates electricity. Thermal electricity generation is polluting and not eco-friendly. Solar thermal electricity generation is not polluting and is eco-friendly. Fifth one is coal is the fuel and reserves are limited, whereas in solar thermal plant in abundance, they are sustainable and persistent. So these are the differences between the thermal electricity generation and solar thermal electricity generation. Seventh question is, what is meant by green energy? Which energy sources can be called as green energy sources and why? Give examples. Now see, this answer is given in your textbook on page number 53. Page number 53, on the right hand side, the vertical rectangle is given which is in yellow color, and the heading is towards environment friendly energy, towards green energy. Now here the answer is given in a paragraph, but you have to write the answer in points. I am giving you the points, you have to write afterwards from this paragraph. So what is meant by green energy? So you will write about green energy. Green energy is the eco-friendly energy which do not cause any environmental problems, and it is non-exhaustible and it is sustainable. Such an energy is called as green energy. Then which energy sources can be called as green energy sources? The examples of green energy are hydroelectric energy, then wind energy, solar energy, and energy obtained from biofuels. Okay, so these are the examples, and these sources of energy do not produce any toxic gases or other pollutants, therefore they are safe. Okay. Next is explain the following sentences. Eighth question is explain the following sentences. First one is energy obtained from fossil fuels is not green energy, right? It is given in your textbook on page number 53. Page number 53. See, the heading is given as electric energy generation and environment, right? So, the electricity generation based on fossil fuels like coal, natural gas, and nuclear fuels like uranium and plutonium are not environment friendly. It means that if electrical energy is generated using these fuels, it can lead to environmental degradation. Then 3 points are given. The first one is because the burning of fossil fuels leads to emission of certain gases and soot particles. It results in air pollution. Then it also leads to formation of carbon monoxide, which is very hazardous to our health. Then carbon dioxide increases due to burning of fuels, which leads to global warming. Then the next point given is nitrogen dioxide is generated due to the burning of fuels, which may lead to the acid rains. And soot particles, they are incompletely burnt and thus they cause the air pollution. Then second point you will write, it takes millions of years for the formation of fossil fuels like crude, coal and natural gases. Also these fuels are limited and they are going to deplete in future. Okay. And third one, that the problems in use of nuclear energy like the disposal of nuclear waste and possibility of disaster due to accident in nuclear power plant. So considering all these points, it is said that energy generation from fossil fuels and nuclear fuels are not environment friendly or eco friendly. Now here the answers are given in paragraph, but you have to write the answers in points. Okay, as I always tell you that in science you have to write the answer in points. So these 3 points you will write and you will elaborate them. Next is saving energy is the need of hour. Now this is actually not given directly in the textbook, but you have to write in your own words. I am explaining the answer. If you want, you can note down the points. Now, first point you will write, like the basic necessities of human beings, the energy is also very essential, right? Now, this energy is obtained by the different forms or different sources. Now, first we had studied about thermal power plant where the fuels are used in the form of the coal, but these are limited, right? And they are getting depleted very fast, and this fossil fuels which we are using, it leads to the pollution and climate change. Second, nuclear energy is also very hazardous because the radioactive elements are used to generate the electricity. So if any explosion or any accident takes place, it is going to pollute the environment. Therefore, we should save the energy, as saving energy is the need of the hour. Okay, so this you have to write in your own words. Let's move on to the next question, that is question number 9, and answer the following questions. First one is, how can we get the required amount of energy by connecting solar panels? Now this is given in your textbook on page number 57. Open page number 57. So on page number 57, the answer is given. Right from the beginning, the answer is given in the whole page, but you will write it in points. I am just giving you the important points which you will write and you will elaborate. Now first you will write that the photovoltaic solar cells can be connected in series or in parallel to make a solar panel, right? Then the second point you can write the current generated from the combination is equal to the current from an individual cell. It means that when solar cells are connected in series, currents from the individual cells are not added, right? When two solar cells are connected in parallel, the current generated from this combination is the summation of the currents from an individual solar cells, but the potential differences from the two cells are not added. Then in the second paragraph, by connecting many solar cells in series and in parallel, solar panels generating required current and potential difference are made. And when many such solar panels are connected together to generate electricity on a larger scale. So, as per the required amount of energy to be generated, many solar panels are connected in series and in parallel. When many solar panels are connected in series, they form a solar strings, and many solar strings, they form a solar array. So this is how the required amount of energy can be obtained by connecting solar panels. Write the answer in 5 to 6 points. Okay. First you will write either they can be connected in series or in parallel. Then you will write about if they are connected in series, then what happens? If they are connected in parallel, what happens, right? And then you will write when many solar panels are connected, they form a string, and when many strings are connected, they form a solar array. So this is how you have to write the answer. Next is, what are the advantages and limitations of solar energy? Now this is also given in your textbook on page number 58. Open page number 58, the limitations and advantages. See, in the second half of the page, there is a paragraph. In this way, electricity is generated without any fuel combustion and so without any air pollution. However, since the energy is generated using solar radiation, solar cells can generate electricity during daytime only. Now this you will write in your own words. What are the advantages? So what is the advantages of the solar energy? No fuel is burnt, right? That will be the first point. Then second, the pollution does not take place as the fuel is not burnt, and solar energy is available in abundance without any cost, and solar energy is eco-friendly and it is a green energy. These are the advantages. Now what are the limitations? The very first limitation is that sunlight is available only during the daytime, right? So the electricity can be generated through the solar energy only during the daytime. Then during rainy season and cloudy days, the power generation will not take place, right? And the power present in the solar cells is DC or direct current, whereas mostly the equipments are on AC. So they are to be converted into AC before using them. Okay. Then let's move on to the next question. Explain with diagram step-by-step energy conversion in thermal power plant. Open page number 49 of your textbook. Page number 49. Step-by-step energy conversion in thermal power plant. See on the top, figure 5.6. Energy transformation in thermal power plant is given. So chemical energy in coal converts into thermal energy, converts into kinetic energy in steam, kinetic energy in turbine, and ultimately electrical energy is generated. So you will draw this diagram. Second is nuclear power plant. It is given on page number 50. Nuclear power plant, the energy conversion, figure 5.9. Nuclear energy converts into thermal energy, converts into kinetic energy in steam, converts into kinetic energy in turbine, and ultimately electrical energy is generated. Now here the ray diagram is given, so you have to explain it in your own words. Okay. Third is solar thermal power plant. It is also given on page number 58 in your textbook. Open page number 58. Yes. So page number 58, figure 5.29, concentrators for collecting sunlight, observer for observing the concentrated sunlight, then steam turbine, electric generator and electric energy. Now here actually the form of energy is not given, so you can write down connectors for collecting sunlight, that is the solar energy. Then it is converted into thermal energy, right? Then in the steam it is kinetic energy. Electric generator is kinetic energy in the turbine, and last the electrical energy is generated. Next is hydroelectric power plant. That is again given on page number 54 in your textbook. Open page number 54. On top of the top of the page, energy transformation in hydroelectric power plant, figure 5.16. So potential energy in water is converted into kinetic energy in flowing water. It is converted into kinetic energy which runs the turbine, and the turbine in turn generates the electrical energy. So these are the step-by-step energy conversion in all these different power plants which you have to explain. First you will draw the ray diagram and then you will explain in your own words. Okay. Question number 11 is give scientific reasons. And here the first question is the construction of turbine is different for different types of power plants. Now this you will write in your own words. Now we had studied all the different types of the power plants. In some the fuel is in the form of coal, in some it is a natural gas, or it is the radioactive elements. Now all these power plants, they work on the principle of electromagnetic induction, right? Now for this the generator is rotated, and generator is rotated with the help of the turbine, right? So to rotate the turbine, to move the turbine, the different type of energy is required as per the power plant, and thus the turbines are constructed in different form for each power plant. Okay. The next question is, it is absolutely necessary to control the fission reaction in nuclear power plants. Now we know that in nuclear power plant the radioactive element uranium-235 is taken, right? And this uranium-235, it is bombarded with the neutrons, and because of this bombardment with neutrons it gets converted into uranium-236, which is an isotope of uranium-235, and this uranium-236 is very unstable. So it gets immediately converted into barium and krypton, and in the conversion of uranium-236 into barium and krypton, 3 more neutrons are released. Now these neutrons again they bombard on the uranium-235, and thus a chain reaction takes place. So in this way the neutrons are released, and in further they cause the fission of the uranium atoms. So this uncontrolled reaction can be very hazardous, and thus we have to take absolute precautions. It becomes necessary to control the fission reaction in the nuclear power plants. The third one is hydroelectric energy, solar energy, and wind energy are called as renewable energies. Now, this is given in your textbook on page number 53. So, open page number 53, students. Yes. So on page number 53, that yellow colored vertical column is given where the answer of this question is lying. Just go through the 7th or 8th line. Yes, electricity generation, that is exactly 8th line from the top. Electricity generation from water reservoir, wind and sunlight are the energy sources which are never ending, and they are very perpetual. They are inexhaustible and they are sustainable. They are never going to be finished. Okay. And they can be renewed, right? And thus the hydroelectric energy, solar energy and wind energy are called as renewable sources of energy because they can be replenished, they are present in abundance and they are never going to be exhausted. Okay. Next question is, it is possible to produce energy from MW to MW using solar photovoltaic cells. Now this answer is given on page number 57 in your textbook. So open page number 57. Yes. So on page number 57, the last paragraph, the last 4th or 5th line. Right. Now, by connecting the solar panels in series or in parallel way, the required electric current can be used, right? And thus from millivolt to megavolt of energy can be produced using photovoltaic cells. Millivolt is a very small amount of electrical energy, whereas megavolt is a big amount of energy. Now this millivolt is used in the calculators which run on the solar energy, whereas megawatt is a larger amount of energy which can be produced with the help of either connecting the solar panels in series or in parallel way. 12th question is, draw a schematic diagram of solar thermal electric energy generation. Now this is given on page number 59. Open page number 59. So page number 59, 5.29 figure, that is the schematic of solar thermal power plant or solar thermal electric energy generation. So this you will draw from the textbook. 13th question is, give your opinion about whether hydroelectric plants are environment friendly or not. Now this you have to write in your own words. Okay. So this you will write at least 5 to 6 points you have to write whether the hydroelectric plants are eco-friendly or they are not. For this you can refer your same lesson, page number 54. The advantages of hydroelectric power generation and problems associated with hydroelectric power plant are given. So first you read this and then you can write in your own words. 14th is, draw neat and labeled diagrams. First is energy transformation in solar thermal electric energy generation. This is given on page number 58. Okay, solar thermal electric energy generation. It is given on page number 58. This we had answered in one of the question just now. See, concentrators for collecting sunlight, that is the solar energy. Then in the second one, absorber for absorbing the concentrated sunlight, that is the thermal energy. Then steam turbine, kinetic energy. Electric generator, kinetic energy. And then the electrical energy generation takes place. Next is question number 14. And question number 14 is B. One solar panel produces a potential difference of 18 volt and current of 3 ampere. Describe how you can obtain a potential difference of 72 volts and current of 9 ampere with a solar array using solar panels. You can use sign of a battery for a solar panel. Now this is the diagram which you are going to draw. Now here the potential difference given is 18 volt and current 3 ampere, and the required amount is potential difference of 72 volts and current of 9 ampere. Now this remains the same if it is connected in parallel, and if they are connected in series then they get added, okay, but the current remains the same. So this is the diagram which you have to draw and you have to write. Question number 15 is write a short note on electrical energy generation and environment. Now this is given in your textbook on page, open page number 53. Actually this is the repetition. We have to write the problems which are related to the electric energy generation and due to which the environment gets degraded. The 3 points are given. First one is that burning of fuels emits the gases, it emits the soot particles, right? Then second one you will write that the fuels are limited and they will be depleted, and third one you will write the disposal of the nuclear waste is a question mark, right? So these are the points which can be said that the energy generation from fossil fuels and nuclear fuels are not eco-friendly. Okay students, so with this we finish with the textbook exercise. So please complete your notebooks. You are regularly on the alternate day